It opens raw and cold in the forest of Walbury. The scene hits like a bad dream. A man stands alone, blood on his face, surrounded by a full army. A girl sits up high on a throne, a power move that makes the whole place feel like a show. The soldiers want orders. The answer is simple and brutal. The army moves in. A muscle-bound thug with an axe steps forward ready to finish him. The man looks beaten, like he's given up on fighting. Then a white-haired figure drops out of the trees and cuts clean through the chaos with one slash. The crowd that had been knocked down erupts at his arrival, while everyone else screams to finish him off. The white-haired arrival walks through the carnage like he owns it. He gives that cold, glowing stare that says everything without words. People collapse under slashes he delivers. He speaks like a blade, telling them they cannot take him down even if they surround him. The name he gives himself is Harkin, though the game calls him the Hero Slayer. People start apologizing at his feet, admitting they were trapped, admitting defeat. Harkin, still icy, reaches out a hand and tells a trembling man to get up. The man cries at hearing his name. Harkin tells him not to get swept up, that he shares part of the blame. Then the girl on the throne, pretty and cruel, gets introduced as Sir in the game, and Chalium the Thunder Queen in real life. She and her crew play the villain role like actors, but their confidence cracks when Harkin mocks them with old wounds and older truth. The scene flips when the girl equips a ridiculous legendary mask and sword through a slot on a watch. The mask is obnoxious, the kind of thing that looks more dumb than dangerous. She calls for blood, and the soldiers charge like they have nothing to lose. Just when the situation looks predictable, betrayal cuts deeper than the swords. Someone stabs Harkin in the back. His so-called allies turn on him for a payday. They claim money forced their hands. They beg forgiveness while he bleeds out. They act like that sale of a soul was unavoidable. Harkin is stunned and broken, left to stare at faces that used to be family. Their eyes are cold. He watches as they slice him up piece by piece, laughing while they do it. Sir mocks him, saying he's about to be trapped in an endless loop where every login becomes pain. Every attempt ends with the same corpse on the same ground. The message lands like acid. Losing in this game means losing in real life. That truth is what makes their betrayal crueler than any blade. Harkin, who sacrificed for the guild and counted those people as family, watches everything collapse. He begs to be finished, only to be lied to by those who sold their honor for millions. He fades out seeing their faces. The system floods his vision. You died. The warning tells him he cannot play for the next 48 hours. He wakes up in a capsule, back in his room, and the pain is real. The loss is total. Warlord is the game, a global juggernaut that launched and took the world by storm. AI-driven, it can print money for skilled players. Warlord changed everything when it launched. For Harkin, it was the one place he owned something. In the real world they called him trash, but in the game he had meaning. A stranger once saw him handling a goblin, respected his skill, and handed him the chance to be more. Harkin took that hand and found belonging inside a guild. That life was everything to him. Now everything gets ripped away. Rage floods him, and revenge becomes his only oxygen. He rips on his jacket, storms out to find the traitors in real life and kill them all. He tries to call everyone. No one answers. The world becomes noise and betrayal. He rants about their unearned lives. Then life rips him again. He walks into a crosswalk without seeing a truck. The scene is ugly and stupid. A garbage truck hits him, ending one life with humiliation as loud as the crunch. Lying on the pavement, phone smashed, the call failing, he thinks about the absurdity of dying to trash. He cannot accept dying before revenge. He cannot let those bastards keep living while he dies. Then the system flickers back into view. A screen connects and a new chance arrives. Welcome Harkin. Complete the tutorial and survive the labyrinth of the Minotaur. He recognizes the game name right away. Warlord again, but the moment is stranger because this is supposed to be a tutorial. People shout at him to wake up and join the fight. The Minotaur in the tutorial makes no sense because that monster was removed years earlier for being impossible. It hits him like a truth bomb that the world has shifted in time. The game launched only 10 months ago. Harkin keeps repeating 10 months in his head, like it's a fracture in his memory. He has knowledge from the future and a window to act. Thrown into a brutal training dungeon, he charges the Minotaur without hesitation while other players flail. The beast swings and nearly crushes everyone, but Harkin performs a set of perfect slashes and carves the Minotaur down in an instant. The other players stare stunned. They see raw skill and offer him a guild invite like it will flatter him. He refuses everything cold. He refuses trust. He slashes one inviter across the chest and walks off alone. Solo is his new rule. The Hero Slayer persona is back and sharper than before. He leaves the capsule and realizes the world around him is a gaming cafe or an expo hall where people still come to use public rigs. The memory of 5 years ago lands hard. He was broke then, only able to access games from places like this. It proves he has actually been sent back to his poorer days. If he uses what he remembers from a future that knows success, revenge is a certain thing. He bolts from the place with purpose. He wants a home capsule, an at-home V-model, so he can grind the years he lost and use the future knowledge to climb again. He slams his credit card down and tries to buy the V-model. The clerk calls him out for having no money, and the cashier's look says it all. The truth hits him. He has knowledge but not the tools. He is 5 years behind and broke in reality. Time is the enemy because every second not spent in the game is another second his rivals get ahead. He remembers his life, the hunger, the cheap meals and the public rigs that kept him alive. The urgency is suffocating. As he stands there, stuck between his desire and the reality of his empty pockets, a voice cuts through the noise. It belongs to Seer, someone who preaches that the strong do not fear challenges and that hesitation is a luxury in battle. She pushes the idea that warriors rise above fear and become true warlords. The voice lands like a gauntlet. The scene freezes on him at the counter. The card and the want, the past and the second chance all stacked against each other. The revenge arc is set. The player who died in betrayal and on the street now has knowledge, a sliver of time travel, and a choice to either crawl back to where he came from, or use the future like a map to hunt every last traitor and the woman who ruined his life. The tone is gritty and blunt, the payoff clear. Harkin is broken, then reborn with a cold new focus. He knows the faces he will hunt and the world he will conquer. He has 5 years of future memory and a tutorial that should not exist. The next steps are all about getting the capsule, grinding the games, building power, and taking revenge. The story leaves him at the edge of the fight, breathing slow, eyes hard, with a single mission burning inside. The streets, the game, and the people who sold him out are all targets now. The future will be his weapon. The loyalty that once meant everything will be repaid with iron. Ranked number 1 in the world, Thunder Queen Seer sits at the top like a storm that never breaks. He remembers that crown and every cut it put on him. The thought sharpens him into a clean line. No hesitation, no mercy. Back home the capsule arrives already set up. The tech walks out and the problem is obvious: money. He got the cash the only way someone like him could, from a loan shark, who deals in VR rigs and gamers, who have more hope than cash. The deal is simple and ugly. He signs, accepts the knife pressed into his palm and agrees to trade his next years for a shot at payback. The threat hangs in the air, but he does not flinch. He would walk through hell for this chance. He logs in, and the system confirms him as Hirkin. Aradian, the game guide, appears and lays out the starting classes like choices on a menu. Warrior is solid but bad for solo work. Cleric is for people who trust others. The last option is obvious to him, and the one he wants. A floating old man named Gulo shows up to teach magic. He warns about dark paths that eat souls, but Hirkin slams his hand on the book and accepts the cost. The old man becomes a skeleton. The ritual locks. An innate necromancer is his new title. The first skill, skeleton fragment, unlocks and a skull forms in his hand. He drops the skull and bones creep together, making a little skeletal fighter. It is ugly and weak, but it is his first weapon. The first attempts are humiliating. The summoned skeleton crumbles against weak training wolves. The video from his past that showed necromancers soloing bosses starts to look like bait. His proficiency sits at F, so he can only pull one pathetic skeleton. Modes do not help. Attack mode flails. Defense mode crumbles. Special mode does ridiculous emotes that look like a joke. He wants to delete the account, but the system locks characters under 3 months. No do-overs. He is stuck with his choice and the cost. He remembers a line in the system notes about an advanced combat learning AI inside summons. That becomes the plan. He stops cursing and starts teaching. He drills dodges, counters, stance resets, and timing. He forces the skeleton to stop taking hits like a meat shield and start moving like a fighter. Practice is ugly and slow and full of mistakes, but it works. The skeleton learns to dodge and slash, turning failure into a small win. Proficiency ticks upward. Gold messages pop and the little creature grows teeth. Hirkin takes quiet pride, but he never softens. Training is a job and he is a relentless boss. Walking through Fig's castle, the early game smells like guild talk and promises of family. Hirkin keeps his head down, thinking of solo power and how cheaply trust can be sold. Low-level thugs try to start trouble. They shove and howl, but someone bigger steps in before a fist lands. A tan blonde warrior with veins like ropes blocks the move with a calm that eats the fight. This is Chev the Slayer, a top-ranked warrior and guildmaster. His aura bends the crowd and the thugs fold. Chev tries to crack something like friendship, but Hirkin walks off cold, refusing help. He will not be soft again. Trust has a price and he paid with blood already. Debt to the loan shark hangs over every session. The capsule gives him a place to grind, but it costs more than money. He traded real-world freedom for virtual power. Every kill is calculated work. Every hour in Warlord moves him toward tools that will let him hunt the people who betrayed him. He has 5 years of future knowledge like a map with roads highlighted, but the map is useless without the vehicle. He needs time, resources, and the grind. The choice to take dark magic is permanent. No reset, no backtrack. He cannot change what he is now. He will have to build a necromancer who does not look like a joke but like a storm. That means turning a puppet into an army and routine into weapon. He will teach his skeleton everything he knows about movement, timing, and survival until the little bones move like a real soldier. Each small success adds to his strength and eats away at the safety of the people who sold him out. Seer stays above the ladder, untouchable and loud. She was the one who trapped him and laughed while he burned. That memory becomes fuel. The garbage truck on the street that ended his old life turned into a second chance that rewound him 5 years. He can act different now, and that is terrifying for anyone who stands on the wrong side of his path. The early days are ugly, populated by cheap betrayals and rookie humiliation, but also by clear routes to climb. Power solves things faster than speeches. Solitude protects him from being sold for coin. He grinds the skeleton, drills until motion becomes instinct, and focuses on one direction: rise.
The world and warlord will remember him not as the guy who got tossed aside, but as the storm that came back and took everything it wanted. He trains in silence, debts ticking like a clock, reputation growing like a shadow behind him. The Thunder Queen sits at the top, bright and sharp, waiting for challengers. He will be ready.
Trouble hits when one of the thugs gets mad and swings at Hyrkin. Out of nowhere, a tan, blonde guy steps in and blocks it. The guy gives off that cool, confident vibe, strong posture, calm face, that type who doesn't even need to say much to show he's dangerous. Muscles tight, veins popping, the man radiates power. It's Cheva the Slayer, one of the strongest warrior-class players around and a top guildmaster known for his obsession with fighting. The thugs freeze, realizing who they just picked a fight with. Chev doesn't care about their words. His aura alone is enough to shut everyone up. The pressure around him makes the air heavy. Even Hyrkin feels it. With his low stats, his body reacts before his mind can catch up, knees weak, hands trembling. Chev looks calm, but everyone knows he's seconds away from snapping bones. The thugs back down quick once they realize he's ranked. Their little act fades, and they bolt before things get worse. Chev smirks, amused by how fast they folded. The moment's tense energy turns into a weird calm. He turns to Hyrkin, tries to break the ice, maybe offer some friendly advice, but Hyrkin just brushes him off, cold and distant, walking away without another word. Chev stands there confused, trying to understand why this kid who looks weak acts like he doesn't need anyone's help. As Hyrkin leaves, his heart's still pounding. That brief moment made him realize just how far behind he really is. Chev's power wasn't something he could even begin to match. The difference was like heaven and earth. His pride burns, but instead of falling apart, it lights a fire in him. He swears that the next time they cross paths he won't be the same. Time passes. He trains hard, cutting through low-level monsters in the beginner's dungeon. It takes 3 full days, but finally, he hits level 10. His little skeleton partner finishes off a flaming wolf and stands proud, glowing faintly from the level up. The room clears out, signaling the end of the training area. The system congratulates him, removes his beginner tag, and unlocks the Warwatch, his interface for everything: stats, quests, map, messages. He checks his stats, and as expected, they're pathetic. Level 10, low numbers all around. He has a few points to distribute, and logic says to pump mana and intelligence for a Necromancer. But Hyrkin's not interested in playing safe. Without hesitation, he dumps every single point into strength. His aura thickens, a faint red glow surrounding him. The skeleton looks crushed, realizing more strength means less mana, which means slower growth for them both. Hyrkin pats its head, explaining his reasoning. Mana won't matter if he can't even stay alive. Early game's all about survival, and he needs the muscle to fight while the skeleton learns from him. That spark in his companion's eyes returns. The little guy stands tall, ready to keep grinding. Hyrkin tells him it's time to train harder, no shortcuts. Meanwhile, in the city of Figus, chaos fills the Hunters Association. Players are racing to pick up quests. Everyone's yelling, scrambling for tasks. Hyrkin strolls in, calm and collected, not impressed by the noise. Most of these quests are trash to him, short-term payouts with no real reward. He walks to the counter, asks to see the quest list. The dwarf behind the desk warns him, these are the toughest ones left. Hyrkin scans through, pretending to look bored, until his eyes land on a mission no one's taken. A small job in the Bima Mountains. Simple objective, clear out all the creatures there. The reward looks weak, 10 gold, but he knows better. With his knowledge from before, he remembers this exact quest hides a secret. Finishing it before level 15 grants the prospect title, an early game boost that raises intelligence and mana by a percentage. That's the kind of head start real players dream about. He accepts it without a second thought. Next thing you know, he's at the mountains. His outfit's a disaster. Clown shirt, bunny helmet, mismatched boots. He looks ridiculous. Most players would never step out like that. But money's tight, and every coin he earns goes to improving his skeleton. It's humiliating, but he pushes through. He mutters that he'll finish the quest fast before anyone sees him dressed like this. While exploring, he stumbles on a wounded player reaching out for help. The guy's covered in blood, whispering about betrayal. Hyrkin steps closer, but before he can react, the scene cuts to another group nearby. A loud, confident player struts through the forest, decked in shiny armor, talking big about his future as a top ranker. He hears someone crying for help and rushes to assist. A group of injured players explains they were attacked and need healing. The confident one pulls out a potion, ready to help. But the moment he lowers his guard, one of them slams a club across his skull. His body drops instantly. The group laughs. Turns out they're player killers, the Ralph family, a notorious guild that hunts down newbies for their loot. They strip his gear, mock his stupidity, and toss his watch onto a pile of others they've taken. These players thrive on tricking others. To them, it's all a game of deception and greed. Meanwhile, Hyrkin and his skeleton continue their grind, tearing through wolves and beasts across the forest. The game's realistic, the same enemies, stronger each color. He commands his skeleton into attack mode, and the creature moves like a trained killer, slashing through an ancient tree wolf in one clean strike. Hyrkin's impressed, investing in strength, and feeding all his resources into his skeleton is paying off.
The little guy's movements are sharper, faster, cleaner. As they keep moving, a sudden arrow slices through the air and hits the skeleton right in the skull. The skeleton pauses, hand on its head, trying to shake it off. A group of players steps out from the trees, the Ralph family. Their mage steps forward, pretending it was an accident. He apologizes for mistaking the skeleton as a monster. Herkin already knows what they are. The blood on their weapons, the stacked watches, clear signs of player killers.
Still, he plays along, calm face, relaxed tone, pretending to accept their apology. He asks for a mana potion to smooth things over. They tell him they don't have one, but offer to help him grind monsters instead. They'll weaken the wolves, and he can land the final hit for experience. It sounds generous, but Herkin knows exactly what's happening. They move into position. The mage quietly signals his crew. One buffs the wolves to make them stronger. Another circles behind, waiting for the chance to strike. The plan's simple. Distract the kid, make him fight multiple wolves, then hit him from behind while he's focused forward. Quick and clean. But their plan falls apart immediately. The skeleton, fast as lightning, cuts down a wolf before the ambush even starts. Herkin gives a small nod, quietly impressed. The Ralph family starts to panic. The monsters they buffed are dying faster than expected. They let out more wolves, hoping to overwhelm him, but Herkin doesn't flinch. His focus sharpens, every motion's calculated. He commands his skeleton with precision, dodging attacks and countering with deadly timing. One of the thugs takes his shot, rushing in with a club, swinging for Herkin's head. The strike looks perfect, but Herkin ducks low, avoiding it with ease. In the same motion, his blade flashes. The attacker's mask splits open, body crumbling before hitting the ground. The forest goes silent for a moment. The remaining two freeze, realization hitting them hard. Then Herkin snaps his fingers, and the skeleton dashes forward. Blue mana flares around it, the air trembling from its speed. The killers try to beg for mercy, but there's no stopping it. In seconds their bodies hit the dirt. Blood stains the grass. Herkin stands over them, calm and cold. No hesitation, no pity, just silence and purpose. The skeleton stands beside him, glowing faintly, proud and loyal. The fight's over. The Ralph family, known for killing rookies, just got wiped by the very player they tried to trick. This moment marks a turning point. Herkin's no longer the desperate beginner who begged for power. His grind, his stubbornness, his insane will to survive, it's starting to pay off. Every small battle is a step closer to his revenge. The skeleton's evolving, his control's sharper, and his confidence is returning. He's learning how to dominate this world, one fight at a time. For the first time, the balance shifts. The underdog has teeth, and with each victory, his path toward vengeance grows clearer. Bodies drop across the dirt like loose change spilling from a pocket. Herkin stands there cold, eyes empty, the kind of calm that comes after too much betrayal. He tells himself these are the kind of people he hates most, the ones who stab others in the back and smile while doing it. Maybe once he would have hesitated, but that version of him is long gone. One of the players tries to beg, offering gear in exchange for mercy. Herkin just mutters an apology, lifts his blade and cuts clean through the man's throat. The kill message pops up, and the silence that follows says everything. Around him, 8 more watches hit the floor. Turns out the guy he just killed had already taken out 8 other players. Herkin shakes his head, pretending to pity the waste, even as he pockets the loot. The skeleton beside him is stomping the corpse's ribs, looking almost cheerful. Cute on the outside, savage underneath, the perfect partner for someone like him. Herkin gives the little guy a pat on the skull, handing over some of the extra gear. The skeleton immediately lights up, almost blushing, a pile of bones somehow radiating joy. Now fully equipped, it looks like a battle mascot, clumsy but proud. Herkin tells him not to get too obsessed with appearances. What matters is power, not looks. Which is funny, because the same guy just spent time fixing his own outfit like a fashion blogger with a sword. The skeleton stares at him like it knows the hypocrisy but lets it slide. Among the loot, Herkin finds war watches, gold in disguise. Selling a fallen player's watch lets him claim random items from their inventory, and this haul turns out to be insane. He pulls dark goblin pants, mana and intelligence boosts, an ancient tree essence sword, demonic curse skill books, and a stack of gold. Better rewards than most dungeon clears. The jackpot leaves him grinning. Buried in the pile, he finally finds what he was looking for, a creepy cracked mask. He slips it on, ugly as sin, but there's a strange satisfaction in it. From now on he decides he's recording everything. Having a mask means having an identity, something recognizable. A memory flashes, someone from before, a talk about branding, going viral, building a name. They'd joked about calling it the Haho mask. The thought hits deep, then fades. He's alone now, and that's how it'll stay. This mask isn't for fame, it's a wall between him and the world. He jumps into a portal with the skeleton, and lands in the Bema Mountains, a dungeon zone crawling with blue werewolves. The grind begins. The fights are rough, but with his new gear and his undead sidekick, confidence builds fast. Hours pass, the skeleton gives a thumbs up, and Herkin realizes something's off. No monsters, no warning messages. If someone had cleared the dungeon before him, the system would have notified him, but it hasn't. Then he notices the skeleton clawing at a wall.
He moves closer and spots a faint black shimmer, a hidden portal. A prompt appears, special dungeon discovered. He knows what that means. Dungeons inside dungeons are death traps, but their rewards are unmatched. You either finish or die trying. Logic says to back out. If he dies, he'll be locked out of the game for 2 days, valuable time wasted. But logic isn't why he's here. He steps through. The sunlight hits him like fire. He's standing in a massive coliseum. The ground shakes, the air goes heavy, and from the far end, a giant werewolf emerges. 3 eyes glowing red. A corrupted creature. No level indicator, just question marks. Before Hyrkin can even think, the monster lunges. He blocks, but the hit sends him flying, bones rattling. The skeleton, loyal as ever, jumps into position, ready to fight. The corrupted werewolf's laughter echoes. These beasts tie into the main story of Warlord, the core questline that shapes the entire world. Hyrkin knows what he's up against, but there's no turning back. He and his skeleton move as one. The little warrior uses a launch assist, tossing him into the air. Hyrkin activates Inflict Curse, and the monster's 3 eyes glaze over. One clean swing cuts through the air and takes off the beast's arm. The system registers a 10% stat drop, but the arm regenerates instantly. So much for that. The creature howls, shifting into rage mode. Hyrkin steadies himself. The fight's beyond normal limits now. He taps his war watch and activates a hidden slot. The ground hums as a black and blue aura wraps around him. Power floods through every nerve. This is Warlord's slot-on system, an ability that lets players channel pure world energy into themselves for a short burst, an ultimate form unique to each user. For Hyrkin, it manifests like dark lightning, controlled and deadly.
The werewolf charges again, claws tearing at the air, but Hyrkin's movements are sharp, impossible to track. He weaves around every strike, eyes locked, waiting for his moment. He knows he can only take 3 hits before it's over, but he's not here to survive, he's here to win. He moves in close and slices again. Sparks flash, the monster roars, and he grins at the rush of it. This is what makes Warlord worth it, the thrill of a fight that could end in one mistake. The creature slams the ground, sending debris flying. For a second, Hyrkin hangs in the air, stunned. Then the skeleton rushes forward, tearing the beast's other arm off in one clean motion. The teamwork clicks like gears in a machine. Hyrkin gives the signal, and together they strike. 2 glowing cuts cross through the monster's chest. The body splits and falls, shaking the Colosseum. The mission complete notification rolls in. 10 gold earned. Monster Bime subjugated. His skeleton levels up, earning a promotion fragment. Hyrkin's inventory floods with rewards. 20,000 gold, a rare pelt, and a necklace called the Corrupted Tracker's Charm. Its stats are off the charts, a relic above unique tier. As soon as he reads the name, something clicks. This item ties directly to the game's main questline, the Count of Corruption. New titles register, promising newcomer, boosting intelligence and magic, hero challenger, boosting stamina, and corrupted tracker, with an unknown effect. The realization hits, he's just stumbled into the main story of Warlord. The main quest is the backbone of the whole world, the most valuable content in the game, and every serious player dreams of being part of it. In his past life, Hyrkin only joined around Chapter 4. This time he's triggered it right from the start. His hands tremble. He smiles, logs out and leans back, but reality doesn't wait. News breaks on the world feed. The Hydra Guild has already reached the final chapter of Count of Corruption and plans to clear it within 3 months. His heart sinks. The story he just unlocked is almost over. All that work, all that timing wasted. For a second he considers dropping it and waiting for the next big arc. Then something shifts in his eyes. He remembers hype. The world's attention is locked on this questline right now. Every player is talking about it. If he drops a video of himself soloing a corrupted werewolf tied to the same event, it could explode online. He's got the footage, every moment recorded. All he needs now is someone to edit it right. He knows just the person. Romy, the one known as the god of editing. In his past life she was a legend, a master of turning simple gameplay into cinematic stories. He sends her the file. On her end she's lounging with pink hair and a smug smile, scrolling through client requests. When she sees the one from a level 15 player, she laughs, thinking it's just another rich kid trying to look cool. Then she opens the footage. Her eyes widen. A grin spreads across her face. This is it. The kind of clip every editor dreams of working on. She finishes the edit and uploads it. Hyrkin refreshes his empty channel and freezes. 6,000 views. Not millions, not instant fame, but real numbers. Organic, believable growth. It's better than any fake overnight success story. He remembers how long it took in his last life to even reach 100 views. This feels earned. Romy messages him first, asking if he's seen the numbers. He keeps his reply short, not feeding the conversation, but she can sense he's impressed. She throws in a brag about her editing skills, joking that it's her talent making him look good. He ignores it, already planning his next move. Meanwhile, somewhere else, thunder rolls across a city skyline. A woman sits in a high-rise office, watching the same video. Long hair, sharp eyes, and an aura that could cut glass. She calls her assistant. He says the clip's just from a weak monster, no big deal. She shuts him down, demanding they track down the player behind it. The assistant freezes. Everyone knows who she is, the Thunder Queen herself, top-ranked in the world, the one who once crushed Hyrkin's old life. Back in his room, Hyrkin doesn't know she's watching yet.
He's just sitting there, staring at the rising view count, feeling the pulse of something new. The first spark of recognition, a small quiet start, but this is how storms begin. He leans back, the mask still on his desk, in the reflection of the screen. His eyes look calm but alive. For the first time since he logged back into Warlord, the path ahead doesn't feel like survival. It feels like a comeback. Herkin had been riding high ever since his last big run. That masked kid video blew up, got people talking, got eyes on him. Even Chevalier was watching, trying to figure out who this kid was, why he moved the way he did. Something about the mask, the smooth summon moves, the confidence, it all felt professional, like he'd done this before. People starting the game usually moved stiff, like they didn't know their own bodies, but this kid handled everything like a veteran. Chev couldn't figure it out, kept watching, the way his brain picked up the pattern in Herkin's movement, in the way he read fights, the way the summon followed. Then the Red Bull Guild girl jumped in, telling him to stop obsessing over a video and focus, reminding him they were going live in 5. 200,000 people packed the stadium to see Chev, Red Bull's leader. That kind of crowd meant pressure, meant you had to perform. Chev had no choice but to gear up and run the team into battle, while Herkin sat back in Figus, scratching his head, because all the missions left were lame. Wolves, blighted soil, the kind of side quest junk that didn't make anyone watch or care. He needed something juicy, something worth uploading. Then Houghton appeared, the old man who knew everything. He had eyes on the Biema Cave mutant run, already knew Herkin had encountered that corrupted creature. Herkin hadn't realized it was anything special, but Houghton confirmed it. This wasn't just a random mutant, this was corruption. Monsters going mad, killing adventurers left and right. Herkin felt the weight, and in full drama mode, he promised to handle it, to dedicate himself completely, laying it thick just to get that secret quest chance. Houghton tried to hold back, saying it was too soon for that responsibility. Herkin pushed, said waiting would only make things worse. Houghton gave in, handing him a recommendation letter for a Heimri at Bangsu Castle, east of Fagus, one of Bokin's 7 disciples, a legendary mage NPC everyone wanted to learn from. Just getting a shot at him was rare, and Herkin could feel it.
Before leaving, Herkin prepped, summoned his skeleton, grabbed leftover loot from the last fight, the werewolf skull, the corrupted tracker's necklace. Skull boosted the bunny skeleton's endurance. Necklace slapped on, stats plus 18, class buffs active. Then he tossed 2 more skeleton fragments, summoning extra minions. Original skeleton looked crushed, used to being special, the one and only. Herkin told him to deal with it. Now they fight as a trio. Combat started again. A level 25 forest beast charged. Claw swings wide. Herkin dodged like it was nothing, thanks to the earlier stat boost. Skeletons jumped in. First one got smacked. Second copied and got smacked harder. Herkin was seething. They weren't thinking, weren't using positioning, weren't learning from each other. Legendary skeleton tried to shine, full effort, got knocked out too. Herkin frustrated, shouting, demanding smarter tactics, blind spots, team coordination. Skeletons had no idea. Training 3 of them was costing triple mana, output worse than before. Still, they pushed through to level 20, the goal achieved. No video this time, just training. Herkin realized his dream of chilling and letting minions do the work was dead. He had to be hands-on, guiding them through every move. Bangsu Castle came next. Tavern packed, NPCs everywhere, people running quests, leeching power. Herkin hated it. Those types, scavengers, lazy players, he avoided them, kept moving. He handed Houghton's recommendation letter to the gatekeeper, moved to the 2nd floor, excited for the chance to meet a Heimri, get rare rewards, build a relationship with a legendary NPC, secret quest, rare chance, skills, all of it. Room was chaos, books scattered, floating in air. The legendary mage himself appeared. Himbre, messy, unaware, not expecting anyone. Herkin introduced himself, stated Houghton's recommendation. Himbre glanced, sized him up, approved for Black Mage class, and granted rewards, bone armor, helm of madness. Herkin practically glowing, emotional, thanking him. Himbre waved him off casually. Mission done, leave. Herkin wasn't satisfied. He wanted more than one-off rewards. He wanted long-term connection, mentorship, chance to unlock skills. Tried reaching out, dodging floating books, swearing he'd do anything. Himbre noticed, smirked, dropped new mission, nest's egg, reward, literally nothing. Herkin realized too late, walked right into a test, a trap. Outside, someone walked by in high-end armor, rare gear that made everyone stop and stare. Herkin observed silently, mentally noting what was out there, who had power, what opportunities might be coming next. Meanwhile, skeletons shuffled along, learning slowly. First skeleton's solo skills didn't translate to a team. New skeletons kept messing up, getting smacked, and Herkin had to adjust. Combat wasn't just stats, it was tactics, coordination, improvisation. He couldn't just summon and watch. Each fight taught lessons in teamwork, positioning, blind spots. Each encounter improved skill, patience and strategy. The grind was real. No shortcuts, no magic. Every stat point, skill and minion maneuver mattered. Hyrkan's setup was meticulous. Leftover loot converted into stat boosts, minion fragments expanded his squad, corrupted necklace added buffs, all prepping for bigger encounters. Training skeletons, testing strategy, all part of growth. He couldn't rely on one skeleton anymore. They had to function as a unit, cover weaknesses, adapt to enemy attacks, and take advantage of situations. He stayed hands-on, guiding every step, no more dreaming of a lazy necromancer life. Bangsu Castle's tavern was a contrast. Players and NPCs buzzing, chasing quick rewards, leeching quests. Hyrkan moved with purpose. Gatekeeper, stairs, second floor, secret quest, legendary mage, rare skills, opportunity for long-term mentorship, all lined up, everything in motion. Chaos of the room didn't matter. Floating books, mess, nothing could slow him down. Himbre sized him up, approved him, gave basic rewards, but Hyrkan pushed further, seeking more, ultimately getting Nest's Egg, a mission with no tangible reward, but a chance to prove himself, a challenge disguised as nothing. Outside, someone's walking by in premium armor, everyone noticing. Hyrkan watches, mentally cataloging, always learning. Grinding isn't just leveling, it's observation, preparation, planning, anticipation. Every interaction, every combat trial, every NPC reaction becomes data, building a path forward. Mask, skeletons, secret quests, corrupted creatures, all building his identity, his strategy, and his story. Hyrkan's grind is holistic. He's training minions, managing stats, prepping for quests, documenting events for content creation. Each skeleton hit, each enemy encounter, each skill unlocked adds layers to his growth. Mask builds mystery, skeletons amplify spectacle, secret quests provide content, corrupted monsters create drama. Every moment becomes material for narrative and personal progression. Skeleton Trio trains hard, makes mistakes, learns slowly, stat boosts help, gear helps, but team dynamics are hardest. Hyrkan's frustration peaks, but lessons stick. Trial, error, adaptation, this is how he grows. No shortcuts. Discipline, planning, observation, skill mastery is only part of it. Leadership, timing, resource management, minion coordination, all essential. Secret quest experiences, corrupted encounters, legendary NPC interactions, they all teach persistence, adaptability, and strategy. Mistakes like Nest's Egg trap reinforce these lessons. Hyrkan constantly evaluates outcomes, plans next moves, optimizes skeleton efficiency, preps for future fights. Content creation, streaming, skill mastery, minion training, NPC interactions, all overlap to create momentum and growth and recognition. Hyrkan's process is layered. Combat, strategy, storytelling, and reputation all woven together. Masked persona, skeleton minions, secret quest progression, corrupted creature battles, legendary NPC rewards, and observation of high-level players. Each step builds toward mastery and visibility. Efficiency, adaptability, and planning compound. Mistakes teach, victories reinforce strategy. Every action matters, and Hyrkan is meticulous about them. He leaves Bangsu Castle with skeletons trained, gear optimized, skills unlocked. Masked identity, content momentum, tactical mastery all aligned. Knowledge gained, lessons learned, skeleton trio trained, minions coordinated, strategies refined, NPC mentorship experience absorbed. Every interaction, every battle, every decision contributes to growth, preparing for next challenges. Hyrkan is ready for future encounters, keeping eyes open, mind sharp, grinding, learning, performing. Hyrkan's journey continues, blending combat, content creation, mentorship, and strategic observation. Skeletons learning, failing, adapting, gear evolving, stats improving, strategies solidifying, legendary NPC guidance, secret quests, corrupted encounters, all contributing to mastery. Mistakes, traps, lessons, and victories combine, pushing him forward. Masked persona, narrative creation, minion efficiency, and tactical application converge. Outside, players stop, stare at premium armor, rare gear walking by. Hyrkan watches, thinking ahead, learning, plotting next move, ready to take advantage of the world around him. Everything observed, everything recorded, every encounter a chance to grow, perform, and build reputation. Mask, skeletons, secret quests, legendary NPCs, corrupted monsters, each step carefully navigated, setting stage for next level, next fight, next content. Hyrkan's story at the moment ends with that image, a player walking by in ridiculous gear, everyone stopping, Hyrkan observing, calculating, ready for what comes next. Chaos inside Bangsu Castle, floating books, legendary mage, skeletons trained but still learning, secret quests, traps, challenges, everything leading to future power, strategy, and content creation. The world's dangerous, opportunities rare, growth hard-earned. Hyrkan is ready, alert, patient, and aggressive in his pursuit. Mask on, skeletons behind him, quest letters in hand, lessons learned, gear equipped, content rolling in, eyes on every detail. Every encounter, every NPC, every fight, every scroll of loot adds to the system he's mastering, preparing him for what's next, building both in-game power and the story he's creating for everyone watching. Outside, the figure walking by in that crazy expensive armor is the last image, a reminder of the stakes, the level of competition, and the reality of the world. Hyrkan storms out of the room, fuming. He just got played by an NPC he thought would hand him a big main quest. Instead of some powerful mission with rewards, he's now stuck running after an egg that promises nothing. It feels like a slap to the face. He wanted to unlock something rare and game-changing, but ended up chasing scraps. As he walks away almost sulking, a group of scavenger players block his path. They're the same desperate ones, always trying to pry information out of others. They crowd around him asking what mission he got. His patience is thin. He's ready to lash out when a voice cuts through the noise telling everyone to move. An armored man pushes through the crowd like the street belongs to him. He heads straight to Herkin. This isn't just some random player. His gear is high quality, his posture shows rank, and his eyes give away he's here with a purpose. He asks Herkin if they can talk. This has to be the butler-looking guy who tried to recruit him earlier on behalf of Seer. Herkin doesn't care who he is, but the man drops a hint about the Homask and says a private talk would be better. They slip into an alley, leaving the crowd behind. The man apologizes for the way things went down outside. Herkin's still not in the mood, but he listens. The guy's armor screams high-ranking guild or hidden organization. Herkin can't tell what's up, only that the guy knows too much. The man brings up Himri and the quest Herkin just got. Herkin plays dumb, acting confused about the mask and acting like he has no idea what the guy's talking about. He puts on a lost face and speaks like he's just some random player. The man with glasses keeps pressing. Herkin fires back, telling him he's not here to share anything with strangers. Being dragged into some alley already crossed a line. If the guy wants a fight, he can put his account on the line. Inside, Herkin's smirking because he knows he's selling the act. The man stares at him, then suddenly lowers his head, extends a hand and apologizes. Herkin realizes he won the little bluff. He shakes his hand and tells him not to be nervous. He even adds a little parting jab about staying out of trouble. Then he walks away like nothing happened. As Herkin leaves, the man stands silent. A tall woman appears next to him, dressed like someone who belongs in the shadows. She says she doubts that was the person they were looking for. The man agrees. He points out that a real warlord-level player would never shake hands with the same hand holding their war watch. Plus, Herkin wiped his hand afterward like he touched something dirty. They start talking about Embry and the Nest's Egg mission. This quest is too important for them to take risks. Before the reader even gets a good look at the woman, she's gone again, melted into the shadows. Herkin sees enough to know something's off. These two are not ordinary players or guild recruiters. They're testing him, tailing him, and moving like a secret organization. They don't care about the masked player's identity. They care about whoever triggered the egg quest. That means Herkin is now a target, whether he likes it or not. He wanted to stay low-key, but that's no longer an option. While his skeletons train in the forest, Herkin's lost in thought. Between the quest, the video he posted, and these mysterious players, everything's heating up. He knows Chassi Leon is already a problem, and now he's dealing with spies too. The pressure's building. Cut to Si Leon's side of the story. Her secretary, Park Suji, is walking with her, praising her boss and asking how the recruitment test went. Si Leon's in a foul mood. She says it was a total disaster with nothing but useless applicants. She's frustrated none of them are worth her time. Suji mentions the masked boy, wondering if maybe he joined another guild since he ignored their invitation. Si Leon's temper explodes. She smashes a bottle demanding to know which guild got him. Suji apologizes, saying they're still trying to confirm that. Si Leon orders her to keep digging. She also asks what the chairman thinks, and Suji says he's silent as long as Warlord keeps doing well. Si Leon scoffs, remembering how the man tried to push her into an arranged marriage when she first said she wanted to play this game. Suji's admiration for her boss's looks slips out in a weird moment, but Si Leon ignores it. Behind the tension, it's clear the higher-ups are watching everything. Someone powerful at the top likes Si Leon, but that doesn't help her find the masked boy. Back to Herkin, he's standing over a swamp looking at his reflection. He's been here before, the Lizardman Swamp. Since Himri is at Bangsu Castle, of course the quest's next stage is nearby. An egg quest probably means a bird, a reptile, or an insect-type monster. He's low level, so he decides to stick with the reptile swamp since it's the only thing he might handle. He summons his skeleton and warns him that monsters here are high level. He plans to use the new enhancement skill he learned last time, a madness move that marks the summon and boosts its power. He activates the skill. An ace symbol appears on the skeleton's forehead, glowing red. It looks intense. Time to see how strong it really is. He orders the skeleton to come at him for a test. But the skill has a risk of driving the summon insane. And of course that's exactly what happens. The skeleton charges straight at Herkin. He catches on too late, and uppercuts the poor skeleton, launching it into the sky like a rocket. Herkin yells at the skeleton, wondering if the skill's bugged. The strength boost isn't even that impressive. It feels like a scam. Before he can think more, a level 30 lizardman sneaks up behind him trying to bite. Herkin decides this is the perfect time to test everything properly. He activates another madness mark, equips the bone armor for extra defense, and gets ready. The summons start screaming as the power courses through them. The lizardmen freeze for a second. Herkin sees the opening and commands the charge. A full-on brawl erupts, 3 skeletons versus 3 lizardmen. This time the little bone soldiers move smart. They circle around to the blind spot and slice their enemies clean. The
The fight ends with the summons taking out all 3 lizardmen, earning 864 XP and leveling up twice. They kneel before Herkin like warriors pledging loyalty. He's impressed. This is the breakthrough he needed. He makes a plan for the week: grind monsters, level up, and hunt for the egg. But as he sets the routine in his mind, someone's already watching him from the shadows. A woman steps out, licking her lips. This world's full of dangerous women, and she's clearly another one. She introduces herself as Ilya. She radiates confidence and beauty, boasting that everyone obeys her will and that she can summon slaves to handle any problem. But the swagger cracks instantly. She trips on some moss and faceplants into the swamp. Now she's lying there confused, realizing she's in a hellhole with monsters above her level. One of her slaves dragged her here for some foolish reason and got himself killed. She's stranded, out of her depth, and her charms can't save her.
She spots Herkin nearby, and her mind spins a plan. She starts tearing her clothes, getting into character for whatever trick she's about to pull. Herkin, still grinding and training, hears a weird sound in the distance. He turns to see this woman stumbling toward him like a wreck. Herkin's walking through the swamp, ignoring the chaos behind him. Ilya, that crazy gorgeous woman, is losing it. She's all cute and flirty, acting like her ankle hurt from monsters, fully expecting Herkin to melt at her beauty. But he doesn't even glance her way. She's stunned, wide-eyed and angry. She bites her lips until they bleed, frustrated that this necromancer bastard is immune to her charm. Herkin's skeletons are mid-brawl, while he just stands there, hand on his face, watching her act out. The girl refuses to give up. She tailgates him everywhere, whining that she's dying in pain, begging him to save her, throwing herself at his feet. Herkin tries to ignore her, but the persistence is maddening. He's thinking how someone like her shouldn't even be playing if she can't handle things herself. He decides to deal with her once and for all. He spins around and flatly asks what help she wants. She sweetly says she dropped her little sword in the swamp. Herkin's dry, telling her that once he retrieves it she better disappear. She swears she won't forget his kindness, but he sees the psycho glint in her eyes. The sword's stuck in the middle of a tiny island. Herkin sends his skeletons to retrieve it, forming a trampoline to reach the prize. Ilya's standing there with that creepy grin, waiting for him to be alone so she can strike. She lunges at him from behind, claiming it's payback for ignoring her. Before she can even touch him, Herkin spins around, grabs her collar and tosses her straight into the swamp. She screams, cursing him, promising to send her fans after him, swearing revenge. Herkin just laughs and points behind her. The lizardmen from the swamp have arrived, stomping her down while he remains completely unfazed. He warns that if she's trying to fool him, she'll need a better plan. He turns back, dismissing the encounter, and tells his skeletons they're leaving. But the skeletons have picked up something strange. They're copying her flirt routines, bumping their skulls on the ground. Herkin yells at them to stop learning weird behavior. The system notifies him. Player Ilya has died. He's amused, not expecting XP or points since he didn't technically kill her. He remembers her claiming she'd watch his back. The thought's hilarious. She'd never help him, and now she's gone. Still, trouble isn't over. A group of Ilya fans has been watching her videos and tracking him. They're hunting him for revenge. Herkin's already stabbed the first guy. The mob calls him the enemy of Lady Ilya. He asks why they go so far for someone who wouldn't do the same. One chubby fan laughs maniacally, screaming he loves her. Herkin cuts him down, calling him a weirdo. Now he remembers all of Ilya's antics. She swore revenge, and her fans are living up to it. She made a video claiming he killed her in the swamp, and now these players hunt him. Combined with the alley spies tailing him, life's a mess. He considers tracking Ilya down and finishing it for real, but then notices some loot nearby. He grabs an unclaimed watch, gaining 5,000 gold, a goblin boot, and a rare accessory, the Necklace of Promise, worth 800,000. That item alone changes the game. While he's inspecting the treasure, someone else reports finding Ilya's enemy, Herkin. Memories flash back. There were like 30 people lined up to take him down. He realizes the heat is on. Running is the only option. He retreats deeper into the swamp, still low level, while the obsessed fans chase him. As he navigates the swamp, he notices something odd. The water and surroundings have a purple tint. He's never seen this area before. A spark of an idea hits him. Meanwhile, the wannabe Avengers, the group hunting him, spot his skeletons dancing and acting goofy. The sight enrages them. Not only did he kill Ilya, now he's mocking her fans. The chubby guy charges, screaming about forgiveness, but mid-lunge, a massive creature bursts from the lake. It's a driving lizard, the regional boss, level 40, swallowing the chubby guy whole. Everyone realizes the danger immediately. Herkin stands aside, observing quietly. He never imagined the nest he's been searching for would belong to this monster. Normally, taking down a level 40 boss requires a raid of 20 high-level players. Herkin, level 20, barely has a chance. He recalls reading that the monster was killed recently, so it shouldn't even be here. Its spawn now means someone triggered it, and that the egg quest he's been chasing is connected. The others are panicking, realizing they're way out of their depth. One wants to retreat, but Herkin doesn't hesitate. He summons his skeletons, marks them with the enhancement skill, and positions them strategically. The fans try to push forward, thinking skeletons are weak. They're dead wrong. The skeletons, trained and smart, block the group while Herkin sneaks past to the nest. He reaches the area quietly, eyes scanning for the purple stone egg.
The nest is empty at first. He searches frantically, checking every corner, until he finally spots it. There it is, the small, purple-tinted egg. All the previous chaos, the obsessive fans, the boss monster, the swamp monsters, and Ilya's antics all led him here. Herkin's been through a lot lately, and the swamp is no different. He's sneaking around, trying to keep a low profile, clutching that weird little egg he found. Only problem is, it looks like a stone more than anything else, but he doesn't care. The skeletal warrior he'd summoned earlier had just gotten wrecked. No surprise considering the swamp's boss-level threats. He knows the lizard monster is about to come back, so lingering here isn't an option. He decides he's just going to call it a win, hand in the egg, and hope the NPC doesn't realize it isn't real. The quest reward is basically nothing anyway, so no big loss. Meanwhile, the swamp is a mess. The Taku, some smelly mobs, are passed out everywhere. Suddenly, a guy shows up, one of those weirdos who just loves the chaos of the game. Herkin's had enough though. He's not letting anyone mess with him. The guy opens his mouth, tries to get cute, but Herkin's already stripped him of his warwatch. No mercy. He warns himself, next time someone comes at him, it won't be a simple scuffle. Rage burns inside him, but he knows business comes first. There's gold to make and XP to grind.
Back at Bangsu Guild, Herkin's selling intel. He's spotted the lizard dragon in the swamp, and has no shame about charging for it. 100,000 gold, straight into his account. Not bad for a day's work. Then he drops off the egg, stone or not, to Himri. The legendary mage doesn't even flinch. He examines it like it's life or death, and tells Herkin this is exactly what he's been searching for. Herkin's stunned. What? All that effort, and this is the actual main quest item? The so-called worthless reward? Turns out the Stone of Corruption, as they call it, is crucial. He had no idea the weird guy with glasses and the tall, mysterious girl from earlier were after the same thing. They weren't worried about him, they were after the stone. Himri apologizes, explaining the test was necessary. He knew Herkin was weak, level 20 at best, and wanted to see how far the kid could push himself against unknown threats. The Stone of Corruption is tied to the main quest, but it's dangerous, and only the determined or lucky survive. Herkin swallows that reality and slaps his chest, ready to give his all. Himri doesn't allow it yet. This isn't about blind courage, it's about understanding the stakes. Herkin's crushed for a moment, but he learns that humility is just part of the grind. He even ends up having to humiliate himself, groveling in front of the mage to officially become a disciple. It stings, but it's worth the title. Back in the swamp, the big lizard's minions are down, and the knights are celebrating like they just won a lottery. The glasses guy, who Herkin doesn't fully understand yet, shows up, acting casual. He hands over some coins as thanks, but Herkin refuses. He doesn't break his own rules. His honor and integrity in the game are unshakable. This moment's weird because the guild guys thought he was just a player chasing gold, but he proves he's beyond that. He takes everything in the nest, the loot all accounted for, and walks off, leaving everyone confused and impressed. While Herkin focuses on his grind, he can't ignore that other players are watching. The lizard boss has returned, stronger than ever, but Herkin's already thinking a few steps ahead. He watches the chaos, noticing how other players fumble against the spawn, and silently thanks his skeleton crew for covering him. He's been training those undead soldiers like a coach with a championship team, teaching them the ropes and pushing them hard. Speaking of the skeletons, they're getting an upgrade. Herkin summons a new awkward red-tinted skeleton, part of Himri's skill set. This guy's energy draining but powerful, a perfect addition for the challenges ahead. Herkin knows this skill is risky, but it's time to push. He lines them up, preps them for battle, and reminds them that hesitation gets nobody anywhere. The fight kicks off. Skeletons versus skeletons. It's wild. His own minions are terrified, unsure how to fight their kind, but Herkin isn't fazed. He teaches them quickly, showing them how to strike effectively, how to exploit blind spots, and how to survive. They're learning fast, leveling up under pressure, and Herkin can already imagine the views this will pull if he records it. It's chaos, but structured chaos. Every movement is a lesson, every kill is progress. Then a massive skeleton, level 35, shows up. Rare spawn, shouldn't even exist in this area. Normally Herkin would panic, but he sees opportunity. Experience and gold are everything right now. He charges with precision, dodging brutal attacks, smashing with his mage's hammer, and his skeletons line up perfectly behind him. They're in sync, cutting down the threat efficiently. The boss sneaks up, trying to bait him, but Herkin's ready. Fireball traps catch the boss off guard, and it's finally defeated. Barbecue for everyone. He knows this video content will explode online. No rest though. The death of the boss triggers something else. A massive golden skeleton, level 40, begins materializing. The Forest of the Dead's real boss, a mage-type beginner slayer. Summoning conditions required wiping out a bunch of skeletons first. Herkin knows the odds are terrible, but this is the goldmine moment. He buffs his skeletons, prepares mentally, and charges forward. Confidence is key, but he realizes the new threat dwarfs anything he's faced. Still, he's not panicking. Each move is calculated, every summon placed for maximum efficiency. Herkin's running low on mana, and it hits him hard. His skeletons vanish right in front of him, waving goodbye like little pests laughing at his dumb mistake. He's summoning 4 skeletons, and another fireball throwing one. Of course his mana burns out.
No choice now, he's going in solo. He flips the power-up switch, and his aura flares bright. The skeleton boss notices, tenses up, and Herkin mutters, "Alright, let's do this." He charges, but the boss isn't messing around. A glowing circle appears on its back, lasers shooting out. One direct hit, and he's toast. If this keeps up, there's no way he'll even get close. So first order, stop the cast. He smashes the hammer into the monster's hand, shattering the circle. He knows Dan's tricks, hands linked to every special attack. Boss eyes him, analyzing, and suddenly a purple energy forms behind it. Then a massive star lights up the sky. Herkin bolts in panic. This is a move he's never seen before, some kind of over-the-top Kamehameha. He's sprinting, dodging, getting launched around, trying to survive. No skeletons, no patterns to memorize, nothing. Every laser, every swing forces him to improvise. He stumbles, gets grabbed, but the monster doesn't bite. Instead, it opens a glowing circle down its throat. Herkin's ready. He hits with the demon's curse, lowering its stats by 13%, breaks free, leaps up, and lands a perfect punch between its eyes. The skeleton shatters. He's done it. Golden skeleton down. Massive experience, almost 100k gold, and the title Skeleton Slayer. Exhausted, he deactivates the skill and checks his status. Level 36 now. He's grinning, but the reality hits. His mana is way too low to rely on summons for fights like this. All the effort leveling skeletons, giving them gear, all of it, pointless if they vanish mid-battle. He decides to send the footage to Romani and finally grab a real meal. Beef, ribs, whatever he's been dreaming of for days. Meanwhile, Romani at her place is losing it. She's punching a teddy bear, screaming at him, while also bouncing around in excitement. He beat a boss above his level, without taking a single hit, without even knowing the attack patterns. The video is gold. She doesn't even need to edit. The title she chooses? Emperor of Solo Play. Perfect for the series. Back at the Hunter Association, he meets Himri again. They ask why he looks like a homeless guy, but he's got what he came for. He finishes part 2 of Himri's teachings, and gets the Book of Osteology. Turns out it boosts all stats of summoned skeletons by 5%, and reduces their mana cost by 10%. Just what he needed. Then Himri presents the Ring of the Corrupted Tracker, made from the stone Herkin had retrieved. It boosts all stats by 9 points, and paired with the matching necklace, adds another 21. That's insane. Herkin jumps to grab it, but Himri yanks it away, saying it's too valuable. Challenge accepted. Herkin grins, charges, and a few hours later, he's outside the city with the ring in hand, muttering about how insane Himri is.
Next quest drops. Someone named Miggy hasn't returned from Suyu Castle, a high-level zone, meaning more grinding before even reaching the destination. Romani pings him about the video, and the views are insane. 2.35 million, only 1,000 likes though, which drives him nuts. Donations start rolling in, including 1 million gold from the notorious Thunder Guild. Chase Salion's crew is trying to recruit him again. Herkin remembers past life headaches with them. No way is he joining. They're persistent, but he's got his own guild, own rules, and a focus on strength over money. He tells them straight, money doesn't matter now. His goal is power, mastery, and enjoying the game with his crew. The others stare, stunned, but he doesn't waver. Now it's time to get serious. Skeletons are summoned again. Today isn't about rest or fun. Every single member of the squad has to train, sharpen, and learn to survive on their own. No more hand-holding. The past skeleton crew had begged for an easy day, but Herkin's not having it. They're dialed in now, laser-focused. He's smiling because this time is different. They're becoming the strongest. Training is simple. Run to Su Castle. Anyone who falls behind gets left behind. Discipline over comfort. No excuses. Today's grind isn't just leveling. It's survival, strategy, and perfecting combat efficiency. Mana management, skeleton coordination, and combat strategy are now part of his daily grind. He's thinking ahead, knowing the next zone will be even tougher. The lessons from the Golden Skeleton, the boss fights, the Corrupted Ring, and the Stone of Corruption all combine to sharpen his skills. Every mistake, every near-death, every strategic win is recorded in his mind as preparation for the massive challenges ahead. Herkin's focus isn't just survival anymore, it's dominance. He's pushing his crew hard, making sure every summon, every skill, and every bit of effort counts. They're all learning, leveling, and adapting. Even the toughest threats are now opportunities for experience and wealth. Each fight, from dodging lasers to finishing blow punches, strengthens him and his team. While grinding, he's aware of viewers, donations, guild politics, and player rivalry. The game world is alive with opportunity and danger, and Herkin thrives in it. Money, rewards, titles, they're nice, but not the priority. Mastery, strategy, and survival are everything. Every challenge is a step forward, every obstacle a chance to prove skill and cunning. Because there are things to take care of, the skeletons are already summoned, and our boy makes it clear. They better remember that he had to deal with the Golden One all by himself. That's exactly why today every single member of the squad is going to learn how to train on their own too. Back in the past, his little crew was asking if they could take it a bit easier today. They didn't have to push so hard, and besides, they weren't as skilled as he was. Meanwhile, their skeleton summons, all dialed in, laser-focused. The boy smiles, saying that yeah, this time things were different. They were going to become the strongest. Their next destination, the Sioux Castle. Until they got there, training wouldn't stop. The training itself was simple. They'd be running all the way there, and anyone who fell behind was getting beat. Right after the little skeletons bolted crying again, chaos was already in the air. They were tiny, useless, and ran away at the first sign of trouble. And then she shows up. That woman, Celian. Herkin hates her guts but can't stop noticing. Perfectly drawn, every panel making it feel like the author is begging us to forgive her. Gut tells him she's trouble. Hatch, a blue-cloaked dude from Thunder Guild, is staring, trying to figure out what Celian's thinking, perched on a mountain of dragon corpses like it's nothing. She climbs down, casually brushes it off, asks about the corrupt count. Hatch admits no progress. Celian's frustrated. Hydra can't snatch the main quest before them. Humiliation isn't an option. Hatch mentions the top 30 guilds are about to meet, but Celian shrugs, says she has no reason to hang with losers, and walks off. Hatch thinks she's cold, warns the guildmaster to stay sharp. Meanwhile, Herkin's got his own mess. Bags slammed, loan sharks paid off, Nami safe for a night. Next up, skill books. He grabs 3 big ones, gold gone, bank at 0. But now he can start learning, surviving better. First up, monster skin fusion for defense. Slaps a skeleton horn on, armored helm forms, +5 defense. Tests it, slashes himself, nothing. He grins, impressed. Next, curse of sloth. Slows enemies. Big catch. Bigger faster targets burn more mana. Hits a confused skeleton, moves in slow-mo. Perfect. Last, the big one. Golem summon. Ground cracks, skeletons panic. Uprises a massive golem. Finally feels like a true necromancer. Mirror mode, syncs its movements with his. Combine his speed with its strength. Unstoppable, right? Throws a punch. Nothing. Skeleton's confused. Then the golem mirrors it. Max speed. Herkin laughs, cries inside. Maybe got scammed, but what a beast. Cut to top 30 guild meeting. Total flop. 4 people show. Nergal, Ares guild leader, tries optimism. Chev notices familiar faces. Berg, the chubby guy, and Syrian, name-changing whirlwind. Nergal notes it's weird. Usually top guilds compete hard. Nerval drops the bomb. Hydra guild discovered corrupt count. Planning final raid in a month. Chev calls BS. Berg slams table. Hydra pulling this off locks future main quests. Celian shuts everyone up, tells scared guilds to zip it or leave. Bird asks if she wants hands. Chev steps in. Nergal proposes anti-Hydra alliance. 4 guilds share info. No internal fighting till count's done. Chev, Berg reluctantly agree. Syrian silent. CL's opinion, not asked. Cut to Celian, at home, fuming, humiliated by failure, forced to team up. No choice. Orders guild to spy on Hydra. Report everything. Count has to be theirs. Time to move. Back at the castle, Herkin confused. Bora Forest mission. Miji missing. Level 70 monsters. Herkin, not ready. 1 hit equals death. Refuse. Lose corruption tracker. Ring. Necklace. Sitting at the fountain. Defeated. Quest window open. Reward. 500 gold. Extras. Penalty. Lose title if fail. He knows main quests are unforgiving. Difficulty spiked. He's been scraping by, leaning on past life knowledge. Level 60 quest? He's barely halfway there. Solo? Impossible. Overhears Catgirl NPC gossip. Hydra guild about to finish main quest. Sparks idea. Maybe Bora Forest isn't needed. Meanwhile, people watch corrupt Count's hunter. Natal with orange hair. Partner observing. Mission to keep eyes on castle. Red Bull guild member Kim appears, pretending he's just hunting a strong monster. Natal notices guild members aware. Info checks out. Chev skeptical. Tip seems legit. Could be Hydra internal leak. Kim asks about skirmish. Chev says hold. Hydra's coming. No risk. Kim blushes, shrugs. Then bam, someone charges. Ground explodes. Chev hears from afar. Kim hands up. Not the only one tipped. Enter Thunder Princess Hahui. Blonde menace demands info. Back with Herkin. Chaos unfolds. Massive bear charges one of his guards. Guard blocks holds ground. Bear swings too slow. The skeleton boys were just chilling, somehow rocking 3D glasses for no reason, probably thinking they looked cool. Herkin's digging through stuff, looking for answers, but nada. The place is way too quiet. He sent out emails, trying to get someone to finish the Bora Forest quest for him, the only way to dodge getting murdered. Main quest tricky, split into chapters. Right now chapter 1 is the corrupt count. As soon as someone beats the count, the chapter closes. Side quests autocomplete. Herkin just wants the quest done without dying or losing face. Ideally, anyone can finish it, even Hydra. Then a notification pops. Hydra guild going live. Big golems sprawled on the ground. Bears winding up attacks. Herkin smacks one in the head to chill it, and crowds gather. Stream starts. Hydra member steps up, says they're revealing the corrupt count's identity and raid date. Herkin just wants it within a month. Perfect. Date shows 3 days. Skeletons glare at him. He forced the timeline. Now it's officially a race, but he doesn't care who finishes it. Forest, not his problem anymore. Hydra guild wiped out. Every member dead. Herkin throws his foam on the floor, furious. How did they charge in unprepared and die in an hour? Hits the ground thinking about his next move. Then the Red Bull guild goes live. Slayer Shev is front and center, troops behind him saying Hydra failed. Red Bull low on resources, odds slim, but everyone's hyped, chanting Red Bull, Red Bull. Herkin sits back thinking, what's their plan this time? Shev drops a bomb, special guest joining. Yep, her. Queen of Thunder, Chelan. Herkin's jaw drops. Flashback. She shows up laughing, asking for a meeting. Herkin jokes about war. She laughs. Nope, just business. She knows he has intel on the corrupt count. Tries to play dumb. Slean shuts that down fast. She knows the info's leaked to top guilds. He's digging. No hiding it now. Chev admits he knows, but no solid leads. Slean leans in, taps her sword, asks if he believes Hydra can pull it off. Chev hedges. Slean's confident they'll fail. Hydra rushed the raid date. First kill won't be easy. Chev presses. She slams her sword, proposes teaming for the dungeon, guarantees him first kill. Herkin stunned. Back live. Slean tearing through monsters like nothing. They finally face the corrupt count. Boss taunts them, sends a legion. Guild struggles. Chev's at his limit, collapses in front of her, clears a path. She charges. Tentacles fly. She dodges. Boss pierces her. Wait, she's baiting. Pops back up. Cuts the boss in half. Chev wide-eyed. She's terrifying. Standing tall. Foot on the fallen boss. Herkin doesn't care. Corrupt count dead. Let her have glory. Payback's coming. Cut to Buckus Mountains. Herkin aka Jahen. Warlord player reborn. Determined. Leveling up. Revenge in mind. Locked zone opens post-count kill. He's ready. Summons skeletons. Runs into level 60 boars. He's 41. Forest packed. Unfarmed monsters everywhere. Sends skeletons charging. They get wrecked. Curse of Sloth activates. Monsters frozen. Sword drawn. Ready to punish anyone who killed his skeletons. Steps on banana peel. Faceplant. Armored monkey drops on his head. Curse fades. Boars move again. He's about to be done for. But a bolt tears through a boar, slicing it in half. Crossbow hail raining down. Who's doing this? He turns. Profile says Elven Archer, but standing there's a full-grown mustached uncle. Cut to Sioux Castle. Guy tells friend to watch closely. White Mambet gear. Only ranked players got that. Glasses guy asks Michael about the info leak. Shadowy woman says no clue. Guild's clueless. Info anonymous. Glasses guy asks about mask player. Regular hunting vids. Newbie couldn't pull this. Working with Sweepers Guild. Shy says he'll be busy. Vows to find whoever's disrupting balance. Meanwhile, Forest. Herkin grinning finds the target. Gets saved. Not Miji. It's Moang. Key NPC for next quest chapter. Once trained princes now guarding Mount Bolkas. Herkin asks if he's the one to help for next arc. Moang warns monsters swarming. Herkin announces corrupt count dead. Followed corrupt energy to find him. Moang hints at someone. No proof. Herkin offers help gathering evidence. Boom. 2 titles awarded. First contact Hunter of Bolka's Initiator. +4 stats. Rewards. Herkin hyped. Moang assigns quest. Kill 50 monsters. Reward 500 gold. Trust. Perfect mission. Level up. Train summons. Start with weaklings. Suddenly huge armored monkey stares him down. Herkin's ready. Time to like, comment and hit the bell for more videos. Thanks for watching.